We have seen on social media that Jasmine has said many times that she has protected Gino for all this filming, which I believe, because if you notice the male characters and the female characters are always the smarter ones, and we're always the ones who understand how the show intersects with social media, intersects with our real life. Like, there is, whether or not anybody wants to say it out loud, there is like a game that's involved in this whole world that we live in. And so someone like Gino and Johan are actually kind of the same person in that they're very insecure, care very much about how they're perceived on TV and how people see them. And that insecurity is what leads them to chase. In Gino's case, he looks for women on sugar daddy websites, people who are looking for sugar babies, because he wants to use whatever resources he has as power to get these women who are not in his league.
I mean, listen, so far, I don't disagree with this analogy or this comparison of Johan and Gino, but she said insecure. So am I here to believe that Danielle is not insecure? I mean, for somebody that went back to Johan after everything that he did to her, that shows somebody who's insecure. So to be honest, when she's talking about this whole insecure thing, I hope she's recognizing that she's a part of that conversation of insecure. Maybe not in the same format, but she's definitely still a part of that conversation. Now, to be fair, I do feel like I've had this sped up a tad too fast, so let me just slow it down. Look, oh wait, where's the 1.25? Yeah, I'm definitely not watching this on a 1 speed. I can't do that. 1.5 is going to stay at. Let's continue.
So the only thing he has is his money, or whatever he has. I don't know what his financial situation is, but he uses that to get these women, so that these women who aesthetically are in a better position than he is, and so it makes him look better.
Kind of similar to how you went in a relationship with somebody that has no money, no job pretty much for the most part, somebody that's to live off you, somebody that has a family that has to live off you as well at the same time. Damn, it's kind of like you and Gino living the same life, but in different ways. But I'm just saying, so far she's pointed out, obviously, the financial benefit or the dominance behind that, okay? And also the insecurity part, which is quite similar. So maybe she's more like Gino, she's more like Gino than Johan is like Gino. But anyway, let's continue, because of course, I do understand what she's trying to get at. Obviously, it's not necessarily the same point that I'm making, but there are still colorations across the board, you see what I'm saying? And that's something that, I hope that she's paying attention to, because it'd be a damn shame if she really was another version of Gino. But maybe some of you folks already believe that she is. But let's continue.
And so he chases these women. He ends up with Jasmine. He gets on TV, which is like a narcissist dream. What do they want? They want to be famous, right? So and there's a little bit of that in all of us, otherwise we wouldn't do it. But for him, it just seems like it's very much feeding this ego thing. Like, I want everyone to love me, I want everyone to love me, I want everyone to love me.
That I definitely do agree with, and I'd say that's probably what she doesn't have in common with Gino, because Danielle does not give a damn about whether people like her or whether people don't like her, which is probably what makes her think that she doesn't have these insecurities, because she doesn't care about other people's opinions on her. But trust me, when you get to a certain point where you don't care, that can come from a level of insecurity. It just depends on what type of I don't care of other people's opinion that you have. Because there is a healthy I don't care, and then there's an unhealthy I don't care. Same as there's an unhealthy delusion and a healthy delusion. Let me give you an example. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're somebody who believes that you can become this person that you want to be. Let's say, you have a goal or where you want to be an actor or something like that, okay? And everybody around you tells you that, listen, you haven't got it. Everybody's saying that you're not even that good or whatever, but you believe in yourself. You have deluded your mind to believe that, no, you're going to keep trying until you finally get your foot in the door. That is a positive delusion, because you are not letting anybody say anything. That's also the same as being a positive of not giving a damn what anybody says, because you are trying to achieve a goal of getting somewhere. But then there's the other delusion that is literally delulu, as people say, and also the same as, having those insecurities and having the feeling of, I don't care what anybody says. And that's when, let's say, for example, you are delusional to the point that you believe that this man or woman is ever going to want you, okay? You are always going to do what you can to keep trying to get that person's attention. Hell, you might even be a friend zone for a minute, thinking you're finally going to get out of it. Now, that is negative a type of delusion, because at the end of the day, you are counting on somebody else, okay, to accept you, somebody else to finally want you. You are seeking something that is external. It's not healthy to be delusional in that way, because each time that person, tells you no, and you keep going back, really and truly, you're now becoming a psychopath. You're now becoming a creep. A stalker. So yeah, that's the type of deluded that we don't want to mess with, okay? And also correlates with the other point as well. But nonetheless, though, of course, when it comes to the situation that Danielle was talking about here, I do understand what she's saying, because end of the day, when it comes to Gino now, he is somebody that is always seeking to have women around him at any cost necessary, I guess. I mean, listen, just imagine he was you know what, he might even be a millionaire. We just don't know that he's a millionaire. But imagine he was literally like a, you know what I mean, like a top millionaire type of guy. Oh my goodness gracious me. Gino would not be, that would probably make him worse of a person, but let's continue.
That's the energy I get from that. Again, maybe this is a little bit projected because I see so much of Johan in him, but so they have this whole thing. They're not having sex for a year or 9 months or however long it is. She says that on television, makes him look ridiculous, has everybody on TV like, why aren't you fucking your wife? Why aren't you fucking your wife? Making him look like inadequate, which is his worst fear.
Does she know? Oh, to be fair, this was filmed before the most recent episode. But in the most recent episode, Gino does come out to tell Natalie, the woman that he's currently dating, that he hasn't had any intimacy with Jasmine since before marriage. So he has come out to say it himself, but based on the fact this was made before that, okay, we can run with it.
And then she goes and says, fine, you're not having sex with me. I'm going to bring a third person into this relationship, and puts it on TV, which is even more humiliating for him in his eyes.
The thing is, though, like, Jasmine coming up with that idea isn't necessarily humiliating for Gino. What's more humiliating is him agreeing to it. You know, I feel like her bringing it up and then him not agreeing to it, then yeah, okay, there's a level of certain humiliation depending on how he handles it. You know, so if he handles it in a way where he's like, oh, you know, you made me feel less than, yeah, I can see that, but he didn't do that. The guy said, yeah, F it, let's do it. So, yeah, but I get the point.
And so now, this season, it's like he's intentionally in front of the camera doing everything not to hurt Jasmine. Like, the words that are coming out of his mouth, the actions that he's taking, he's such a terrible actor that he's just like, oh, that really turns me on. Like, it makes me uncomfortable because he wants to say out loud in front of the camera so that Jasmine can watch it from her couch, oh, this other woman is turning him on and I couldn't.
No lies told. And to be fair, I don't think it's necessarily just because of Jasmine. I think it's also just showing the audience that, yes, he is a man that can get turned on. It's just that Jasmine was the one not doing it because, of course, people were questioning why he did not want to bed Jasmine, okay? When you're based on aesthetics between the two, people would assume that because she's out of his league, he would want to be in bed with her at any means necessary, regardless of what trouble that she gives him. So I think, to be honest with him doing that was to cover, one, try to make Jasmine jealous, but then also two, to let the audience know that yes, he can have a strong attraction to women. And to be fair, even that scene that we see him kiss Natalie, the boy was going in. Yeah, that's how I kiss. I go. Anyway, because he was really giving her that attempted passionate kiss, he was definitely showing people that he can be, you know, physical with somebody. So yeah, I do believe that he's also doing that for the audience as well.
And so every single word that comes out of his mouth on TV is not about him or the girl. It's about Jasmine. And it's about making her look bad and making her feel bad and humiliating her.
Although I agree, but at the same time, I probably believe that the producers probably have said to them, listen, we need you to speak about Jasmine as much as possible. But yeah, either way though, Gino would have no problem with that anyway. And to be fair though, to be fair, on the very first ever season of meeting Gino and Jasmine, Gino did speak a lot about his ex. So much he sent her pictures of Jasmine. So to be fair, you know what? Let's run with it. Yeah, she got a point. Fair point. Gino has a thing with making exes jealous. Because he did it, because obviously he sent a picture of Jasmine to his ex to make her jealous. And now the way he's behaving in this situation, showing off that he actually can be into a woman, I guess that is a way of making Jasmine jealous. So to be fair, there's a point there that is being made. You know what? I F with it.
And that is what makes him so fucking diabolical to me and why I can't watch him. And it comes from a place of immaturity and insecurity. You know, like, when Johan does it, I have compassion for him. Because it's like, you're so sad and pathetic that you feel like this is the thing that's going to make you win and get you love. And like, it's actually the opposite. You're making yourself look insane.
But sadly, Gino's got so much of a fan base that they don't see some of these things. They should be seeing these things.
Like, it's like, I can't listen to him speak. I can't watch him engage because I know that it's all, he's intentionally, probably every fucking episode, going out of his way to hurt Jasmine. And it's just like, how pathetic. Because what you could have done instead is just be nice to your wife. You could have avoided this whole fucking circus if you just learned how to treat your wife instead. But at the end of the day, she's got a little baby. and she's gonna be happy and she'll be fine. But like, such gross behavior.
I mean, listen, I don't disagree with anything that Danielle said about Gino, but she's definitely the wrong messenger, because she's somebody that can say a whole lot of things about other people's relationships, but then when it comes to her own, it has made her into a massive hypocrite for us for some time now. Yes, fair enough, her and Johan are no longer together, but yeah. Well, let me know your thoughts though. Do you agree with what Danielle's saying, regardless of how you feel about her? Or do you have obviously other things you want to add to what she said? Or do you disagree and your opinion is completely different? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.